Hey guys, my name is Nora Franch, and welcome to the podcast Grateful Blessed Mess, daily reflections for those in the 12 steps. I am a fellow 12-stepper and certified mindset coach, and I am here to introduce you to the value of mindset coaching in your 12-step journey. So if you feel like you are stuck in the steps, if you're slipping and sliding with your abstinence, mindset coaching may help you as it did me, and you can find me at CatholicMindsetCoaching.com. These episodes are meant to invite you in to consider the truths of 12-step wisdom and to join in the very real struggle of living them in action. I hope that it feels almost like a mini meeting, and I invite you to contribute your own share on the Grateful Blessedness Facebook group to keep the discussion going. My comments are based on my own experience, so feel free to take what you like and leave the rest. But my hope is to encourage you on your own daily 12-step journey. As they say, you cannot stay clean on yesterday's shower. So without further ado, let's begin. We are reading from A Day at a Time. It is the writing for May 5th. Here we go. I knew I had to have a new beginning, and the beginning had to be here. I couldn't start anywhere else. I had to let go of the past and forget the future. As long as I held on to the past with one hand and grabbed at the future with the other hand, I had nothing with which to grasp today. So I had to begin here, now. Do I practice the 11th step, praying only for knowledge of my higher power's will for me and the power to carry that out? Today I pray, may I not worry about verbalizing my wants and needs in my prayers to my higher power. May I not fret over the language of my prayers, for a higher power needs no language, and a connection with something greater than me is beyond simple speech. May the 11th step guide me in my prayers at all times. Today I will remember to mindfully connect with my higher power. Wow. That's really good. I did hear something reading it through that was not quite what they were getting at, but I kind of liked it. And they said that I had to begin here. And I took that as with my disease, with whatever got me in the rooms. I had to begin with this whole eating thing before I could even begin to look at the spiritual life, because it was too darn loud. And I still stand by this, that, when we first get into whatever room we're going into, we first have to get a hold of that thing, whatever addiction that we have, that has to get wrangled at least to some degree, because while we're in it, we can't even think straight. We aren't able to be accessed spiritually very much, I don't think, because that physical thing is just so dang loud. And so my own experience is that once the food started to quiet down a little bit, I could start to hear God better and my sponsor better and people's messages, what they had to say. I could start to hear the more healing part of the mental and spiritual components of this program. Whereas in the beginning, I just could not hear them. And so that's my own philosophy. Perhaps, other people have other experiences too. And I'm not to say those aren't as good or better, but that's just been my own experience. And I think there's something to that. Now, what they were actually saying about being present is just such a solid spiritual principle in so many disciplines, like tons of religions across the board. And then obviously the 12 steps, that God is in the present moment. Our higher power is in the present moment. And I heard it described as we live in anxiety when we're living in the future, and we're living in fear. I'm messing this up. Darn it. There's something about when you're living in the past, you're in one, bad way emotionally. And when you're living in the future, you're living in another bad way emotionally. Please write in the Facebook group the correct verbiage of that statement. Sorry. But that God is in the present moment. That is the gist of it. And whenever we're in the past or in the future, we are in an emotional struggle, and I think part of that, or all of that, is because God is not there. We are going where he does not go because he's completely present. He is ever present. And I think that that's something we all need to pray for, is that gift of letting go. I love that, if that visual. It's almost, they're being stretched with one hand in the future and the other hand on the past, and like no one can hold on to two things moving in two different directions without, eventually you're just going to end up on your face. And so maybe if you're on your face, that is the gift of the present moment. Now make you laugh at yourself a little bit. I know I need to laugh at myself a whole lot more. I take myself way too seriously. But that was a really cool visual. And there's also a quote from, I think it's St. Augustine, who says, God has tons of good gifts for us, but our hands are too full to receive them. And it's because we're holding on to all these things that we think we need, or we're scared to let go of because, what if I'm not okay? What if I'm not taken care of? And so this beautiful posture of just releasing whatever you're holding on to, and just like having open hands that are just ready. They're just ready to receive whatever good gift is coming your way. And they're not going to grab on too tight when it does. They're going to let it be placed there, and they're going to let it stay there as long as they can. And that's my prayer for you today. That's my prayer for me today, that I'm able to, in this trusting way, keep a posture of open hands that never need to hold on to, clutch, or grasp onto whatever gift it is I want or am given, and can revel in the present moment of having it or not having it, trusting that it's all working to my good, and that I'm going to be given what I need in the moment that I need it. I hope that for you too. With that, I pass.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you feel that mindset coaching could help you on your 12-step journey, please feel free to reach out and find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. But more than that, it's important to me to give listeners like yourself a place where you do not need to feel alone on your 12-step journey. And for that reason, I've created a Facebook group. It's called Grateful Blessed Mess. And it's a place where listeners can go to add their own commentary on the share for the day, in addition to my own, and for us just to have a conversation or start a back and forth where people can find support in their 12-step journey. This is not a replacement for 12-step work. This is something outside of the 12 steps. It is simply something that has a heart for the 12 steps and those who are in it. And so, welcome. If you're here, chances are you may also be a bit of a mess. And I hope that you can learn to find some gratitude in the blessings that have come from your messes.